Hello guys, it's your host from the Brett's Review Show. Welcome to Gamers, Episode 8 Review. Let's fire this up! Today's episode starts out really funny because this time in this episode we get introduced to Chiaki's little sister. I didn't catch her name. I should have, but I really didn't catch her name right away. I'm pretty sure I'm going to find that out later on. I should already know it because this is like the third time I've already watched this entire first season. She ends up being the class president of the school that they go to, that Chiaki and all of them go to. And the rest of the council are all cute girls, so basically every single person on the council is a cute girl. And she kind of does what Amano did in the very first episode and what Urahara does later on. Kind of narrates. So everybody narrates, has their own part of narration. And she's what you would call an ero gamer. She's like a hentai gamer. So she's into that sort of thing. Unlike her sister. And right after she was done, she went and put on a disguise and went to the very store where Amano and all of them and Tendo first met, and she finds a game called Blue Bird or Blue something, Blue Sky, and in the adult section. And it's something that just came out. She's been waiting for it. And now she's like, oh, I'm just going to get a console game. So while she's down there, Keita, Amano, and Misumi come into the store, and Misumi's like, hey, can you recommend any games? I mean, so Keita, Amano's more fond of dating simulators, and not anyone in the Gamers Club is really fond of them and really has any experience with them. And Amano gave props to Masumi for staying in the Gamers Club or the Gamer Club, and he recommended one game that he really liked. That he said, I went to school really tired for an entire week trying to beat that game. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll buy it. And I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. You might not like it. Here, give me a second. And Chiaki's little sister is in the background. She's trying to fool the other two, acting weird, doing some weird squats in the aisle in the back of the store and just being a goof. Trying not to bring any attention to herself whatsoever to if they see that, hey, she's not a guy, she's a girl, and dressed as a guy. Okay. And she finds a game that Amano picks up later and shows Masumi that it's a volleyball or scouting or something, and he says it's an old game and they didn't sell well, and is he'd rather, basically what he says is about the game is he'd rather root for the underdog than some brand new game that just came out with updated graphics and everything that looks so amazing, so cool. He'd rather give the underdog a shot, and the underdog, in his opinion, is a really good game. And anyone would say that, especially if they're really, especially about anime too. It's there's a lot of old style anime that I myself enjoy. Too bad I can't remember every single one of the 90s to early 2000s anime that I've watched. Um, can't remember all of them. Watched so darn many. Back on track here. And well, after all this, Urahara takes over the narration, right? And he's like, okay, Agari and Amano got married right after college, and, well, it's like, we want to say, good luck and congratulations, but, we're, conflicted about that. And, Hoshinomori over here, Chiaki, she's filling herself on cake, so she doesn't have to say congratulations or anything like that. And she's wearing a construction helmet, kind of like an outfit. Basically, what leads up to this is that they end up Amano, Tendo, Urahara, Agari, and Chiaki all play a game called or like Love Life, or Half Love. It's like half and half games. Basically, a romance game, a romance board game. Like Love Life. And it's like, yeah, life sucks. That's what they should call it, because that's what everybody, how conflicted and tense everybody else was. Tendo and Amano sat from like across from each other, so she sat on one corner, he sat on the other, on the opposite side. Urahara was on one corner, Chiaki was basically in the middle on one side, and basically in between Urahara and Amano, and Agari was sitting on the other side, across from Urahara, and it's funny, it's like, oh, it's Agari's turn, so you're pregnant now on your first honeymoon. What? You got a kid already? Well, you wouldn't have been just pulling out an entire act. Like, Agari and Amano, like, really put an act up for this game. Like, they were literally acting this out, and it was causing Tendo to be really jealous to the point where it ended up there's another point where it ended up being like it went south with Chiaki. Chiaki didn't really have any luck at all, and it was the same for Urahara. Urahara didn't have much very luck at all. Tendo, on the other hand, she made a lot of money, but nothing else was really good. He's like, oh yay, I've got money. Yay, that brings happiness. That's not, I don't care about that. Get out of here. Urahara's like, well, as tense as jealous and kind of irritated as she is, you probably want to spend all them blue bills on board game therapy. Hey, and when it was, I think it was Agari's turn during while they're still playing, and it starts out as your soulmate makes a move on you, and she's like, oh, I'm so happy about that, and she looks towards Urahara, and Urahara's like, yeah, and he's got a smile on his face, but he doesn't really make eye contact with her. He looks at her after he sees it, looks back down at the board, and says, yeah. And then, wait, there's more. And as she reads, she's like, you reject your soulmate's approach, and you go back to your marriage. And basically reconcile your marriage and basically go back to it and stay true to it. And it ends up with you getting pregnant again by also breaking the bed. And she acts angrily, and she just snaps at Amano, and Amano fires back a little bit, which Tendo immediately shuts them up. And sorry, and and Chiaki got called, like, they heard a slam. And, like, Chiaki's like, oh, it must be my sister's home. I was like, oh, wait, you have a sister? He's like, oh, I'm curious. Tendo's like, you're curious, huh? Tell me, what else do you think? What else are you thinking? He's like, oh, don't be that way! Don't kill me! Sorry, sir! Sir? Still, you gotta think about it, Amano's not good at those sort of things. He's not good at those comments. They take a breather, and Chiaki leaves to go see what her sister wants, and it's just the four of them. Amano gets a notification on his phone, a push notification, about his game that he plays, along with Chiaki, because Chiaki plays the same darn game. It's like, oh, it must be internet or whatnot. And he's playing it. Tendo comes around, it's like, oh, so that's the game. Actually, looks pretty fun. Oh, don't stop playing. And he's like, sorry, I concentrate. And while he's playing, Urahara and Aguri's like, aren't you glad that things are working out with Tendo and Amano? Like, it really seems like it's going along. Like, they're really getting along. And he gets serious, and he asks her, like, he takes her by the shoulders, he turns around, looks her right in the eye, and he goes, what are your thoughts of Amano? Don't hold anything back. Do you like him or not? I need to know. And she's like, I don't know where that came from, but, well, he's like a cinnamon little brother that's kind of dumb and doesn't understand how the world works. But I'm happy that he has a girlfriend now, and I'm on his side. I'm just, trying to help him a little bit. And that proves right there that she has no feelings for Amano in that sort of way, period. Absolutely not. She thinks of him as a little brother, and that is it. And he's like, okay, cool. But she basically asks him the same thing. And he's like, well, what about Tendo? And he's like, Tendo? The hell does she has anything to do with us? Like, well, if that's true, then she really doesn't have anything to do with us. And he takes Agari's hand, and he holds it. And she is taken back from him. It's like, this is something that he doesn't really do. He doesn't normally do this, not that often. It's rare. She acts as if this is really rare, that she's never seen him do this before. And he's like, what? I can't hold my own my own girlfriend's hand? And he's like, and then it goes to, say about within 5 minutes, Chiaki starts coming and it's like, okay, I'm back, she really did anything with her. And she overhears Amano telling Tendo about his online friends, and she gets a bit jealous, which kind of gets him to freak out a little bit, but then he has to break it down and explain it, that Mano, the friend that he has through that game that he plays on his mobile phone, is a good friend of his, and to him, Mano and the very cool game developer Nobe means a lot to him. And again, the only one who really knows who Mano and Nobe are is Urahara. He's the only one that knows. Chiaki is Mano and Nobe. The exact same person using 2 different nicknames that she came up with using her mother's maiden name. And it was Chiaki who came up with the game of love. That's just love game. This half of game of love or whatnot. She's the one who came up with it because her mother wanted it in some sort of surprise or whatnot, or take drawing or whatnot. And while he's discussing it, Urahara just if I wasn't face palming right now, I would see a girl falling and finding her like literally falling in love, being a 5 minute late soulmate. So like I pointed out earlier that Amano, Tendo, and Chiaki, or you could basically point out as both Amano and Chiaki are soulmates. Because Amano in the board game, Chiaki had landed on the soulmate thing. And Amano ended up getting the same thing. But Amano has feelings for Tendo and is dating Tendo. And Chiaki is finally, like, truly realizing who she really likes. And that's Amano. And she's just staring blankly at him as he's explaining to Tendo about all the things that, like some of the things that they do. I mean, he talks about using 2 different nicknames, and like Suchi or Yami or whatever. And when he's talking to either Mana or Nobe, and he has no idea who they are or who they really are. And that's the thing. What I want to know is why that Urahara is letting this play out, because he had this whole bulletproof plan that he'll be able to get all the truth out, all the truth out, like who's not cheating on who or who's cheating on who, all of it out on the table, just all out on the table, and we hash it out right there. But it didn't go that way. So his foolproof plan didn't go well. Just like his plan didn't really go all too well in the episode before, or 2 episodes before, that he came up with, of like seeing Amano crash and burn, like get rejected by Tendo and all this and that, which didn't happen. And it kind of ended on that note with Chiaki literally falling hard in love with Amano right there and there at the end of that episode. And it's pretty good because it's just something that you least expect, especially with that kind of character that Chiaki is. That you just I'm just gonna just mosey on along, get along with, try and make the I have the only friends that I have, and that's Urahara, and that's this guy I really don't like, but Amano Keita, like I don't like him, but I'm friends with him. I hate to see him down, but I like to argue with him, but I like to debate. But anyway, man, life sucks. So that's why you don't play board games about love, because it's all bullcrap. But anyway, I'm gonna give this episode 8 a 7.5 out of 10. So that's all I have for you guys tonight, and it's time to cool down and look forward for the next review. Peace.